Hey guys, coming at you this time from Pymatuning State Park. It's a little bit south of where I was. Feeling really lazy after my whole day yesterday. Not the whole day, but the fact that I ended up in that hotel, makes me just feel like I was super lazy, even though I did a whole bunch of stuff. So today I'm going to compensate for that. I need to make up for the fact that I slept in a real bed, like I don't even know. Something spoiled. Either way, I digress. This so far seems to be the winner of the campsites. So first off, it's Monday, and I was really looking forward to it not being the weekend anymore because people are just not out here anymore. I've got a nice little campsite in a corner. I was hoping it looked like this when I picked it. You can see I just have a wall of trees there, so nobody can camp on that side. And well, when I had checked, those were open. And according to the woman, you could see the front desk, the little shack down there. Um, According to the woman, there's lots of vacancies, so if I wanted to move, I could, which is nice. The first time that they've offered that at a state park, just anywhere. Normally, they're very rigid about you've booked that spot, you're stuck in that spot. I don't know why they care so much. Um, like, you need to be sleeping on that dirt and not the dirt 6 feet to the right. Um, I don't know, weird things that people give a shit about. But either way, um, the marina, you can see there's a truck coming from it. It's out that way and to the right. It's actually right on the other side of these trees. If I could just cut through there, it'd be great, but I can't. So I'm gonna get posted up here. I'm going to set up the kayak. I found a couple, or I was looking at the GPS. This map, or this lake is really huge. Like if you look it up on a map, you'd be surprised that you haven't heard of it before. That's called Pymatuning, Pymatuning. It's gigantic. Um, when I get out there, I'll take another video just so you can kind of see the size of it. It's big enough to the point where part of it is in Ohio. Um, like one bank's in Ohio, the other bank is in Pennsylvania, so I'm on the PA side. Uh, yeah, should be good. Was checking it out on the map. There's 3 islands nearby. I say nearby, they're nearby on the map. I don't know how nearby they're going to be in real life, but the goal is to set up the kayak, get kind of settled in a little bit here. It's only about like 12:15, so I've got plenty of daylight left. Uh, and like I said, I need to make up for yesterday, so we're going to channel our inner, I don't know, Vasco da Gama, and we're going to hit up some islands, and it should be pretty cool. So I'll let you know how it goes. I don't generally take my backpack kayaking with me since I try to minimize the amount of stuff with me, but I think with the plan that I have in mind of hitting those islands, I have no idea how long it's going to take me, so just to be smart, I'm going to pack some lunch, I'm going to pack some water, so that's what I'm contemplating over here at the moment. How best to do that. One thing I do always keep regardless is this life straw. It's the top to it because I can screw it onto the top of my Nalgene bottle. But life straw, haven't had to use it in an emergency situation yet, but it's just a good thing to have in case you need to drink out of some nasty water. So. I've also gone through a fairly significant amount of water so far. So one of the things I have to do today, it's actually nice because I haven't had to re-up on my water yet. Um, but considering it's, what, Monday, it's been 4 days, 3 days. I'm just drinking this water. it's nice to know that I can have that much water in just the cooler and last for that long, so. And be fairly active as well. I guess if I was trying to just not die of thirst, I wouldn't be doing things like kayaking and sweating, so. Who knows? One of the things I need to take care of, one of the things you need to keep in mind. This is what I was saying the lifestyle straw screws into, by the way. The top there. Okay, I've re-upped my water. I've gotten changed into my kayaking stuff, and time to get ready. I'm not sure what the view was like yesterday when I was making this, so hopefully this turns out a little bit better in terms of how I actually put this kayak together. We'll see, I guess. Peaceful sounds of nature. I normally forget to clasp the seat down. And, it's always really annoying to remember when I'm out in the water. The seat will just be sliding around. Can get pretty annoying. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward concept. I mean, the plastic folds up, there's a series of straps and clasps that kind of hold everything in place, and then to finish it off, there's basically these sliders or runners or whatever that seals up the top and holds it together. So put those on and we should be good to go. And the question is, I have two pairs of kayaking gloves. I don't generally use either of them, but I like to bring them with me just in case I get blisters or something. I'm not sure where one of them went. Because they were in this bag. Just getting there right fucking here. I like to strap those to the top so I don't have to worry about them. I sometimes do that with my sandals as well if they get annoying. Okay, I've got 2 water bottles and some beef jerky, but to be honest, I'm not feeling like that's sufficient. The other thing I tend to bring a lot of is granola bars. It's normally beef jerky and granola bars in terms of snacks, just because that way you really get your protein as well as your carbs. Normally I try to avoid carbs in normal life, but I'll be honest, when I'm doing this sort of thing, bring on the fucking carbs, which is awesome. Let me tell you, my favorite part about exercising and everything is being able to eat and drink whatever the hell I want, because it's great. That said, I've got our granola bars packed up. I got my sausages packed up. 4 granola bars, half a bag of that. I haven't eaten any breakfast, so I should probably do that before I go anywhere. I'll probably just eat a piece of beef jerky or something. I don't know. I don't generally eat breakfast, so it's kind of throwing me off. It's been throwing me off this entire trip. I bought a lot of breakfast food and I haven't touched it. Yeah. Other than that, I think it's about time to head out. The closest island is called Harris Island, so I'm going to stop there first, and depending on what I see from there, and go from there. There appears to be a small island south of that and a larger island north of that. So most likely I'll end up heading north after the first one. My tentative plan is to hit Harris Island, check out what's going on there. Can't imagine that there's too much on any of these islands, to be honest, but it'll be cool to see. Hit that, back in the kayak, go to the next island, probably eat lunch there, potentially hit the third one. I have no idea what the distance is like between these things, so we're gonna obviously play it by ear based on that. Yeah. Glad I just remembered to cover myself in sunscreen, so I'm gonna do that real quick. And then gonna head out. Oh, and forget Vasco da Gama. All right, Ponce de Leon, he I can get on board with, because I'm not trying to find India, but if I find the Fountain of Youth, I was gonna say I'll let you know, but I won't. I'll hide that shit for myself. Okay, so I'm out on the lake a little bit. This is Lake Pymatuning. You can see the marina is there to the left. I kind of just paddled around the corner. Pretty windy out here, if you can't tell. You'll definitely tell when I rotate around. That in front of me appears to be Harris Island, which is the big one I thought would be right in front, and well, there it is. I think that's the little one that I saw on the map. Farther down, I'm assuming that's just the coastline where it curves back around. That's gonna be the third stop. But first stop, obviously Harris Island. You can see where it breaks off there. And then supposedly there was gonna be one down here to the right. I mean, maybe that's it that I'm looking directly at and I just don't realize that it loops around. It does seem like there's a little space in between there. So I don't know, it should be an adventure. So I'll let you know what cool things I find. Okay, so funny thing that just happened before I start. I'm looking at this thing in the water, and it looks like a piece of wood, but it also kind of looks like a fin on the top. And I'm staring at it like, what the hell is that? Because it's clearly moving against the current. Like, it's alive, so what is that that's moving it? That looks like a piece of wood. But it's actually that I'm just stupid and I'm the one getting pushed by the current. And yeah, so thought that was kind of funny. Okay, so I made it to the other side of Harris Island by this pretty cool tree thing. It's falling in. Yeah, so that's the side I have yet to kayak around, but I thought it didn't make much sense to go around that if I'm just going to go back in the other direction. That I'm pretty convinced is the third island that I had seen on the map. So I'm going to island hop my way over there. You can see it's pretty choppy out here. Glad I have a life jacket. And yeah, it should be some good exercise to get over there. What's gonna be nice is coming back because the current is going that direction pretty fast. You can see, even in that amount of time, now I'm like next to this. Yeah, it should be good, but I'm gonna get moving. So there you can see Harris Island, where I just came from. This is the western bank of the other island that I've made it to. You can see Lake Pymatuning is huge. It goes down there, it loops around. I mean, seriously, look it up on a map and you're gonna be amazed that you've never heard of this place because it's fairly large. Either way, my goal is to loop back around that way. Should bring me back out on the other side of that outcropping, and then I'll go back around to Harris Island and then jump down to the little one to the right there, and then I might call it a day. Probably gonna stop for lunch before I make it all the way around this island though, so that should be good. Let you know how it goes. Alright, I've continued around that second island. Well, I'm continuing to call it a second island even though I'm not entirely sure at this point. Maybe it just keeps going around. Maybe I would need to paddle through some lily pads. I'm not exactly trying to do that. Either way, I just floated around the corner here. And I was excited because it looked like it was getting calm. But it actually brings me to something that I wanted to bring up, which is out here, and actually since Hills Creek, I've been seeing a lot of warnings for algae blooms, specifically saying don't let your dogs play in them. If you get it on you, wash it off. Don't hang out in the algae. I don't know why you would need to be told not to hang out in that, because it's pretty gross. Yeah. You can tell it's all kind of back here where the water is stagnant. The woman at the front desk actually told me it was because during the spring, apparently they had really low water, and it just grew. All the algae started to grow real early, so they got a whole bunch of it this year. When the water level finally rose back up, it's just full of algae. So it hasn't been that bad so far. There's been a lot of sea foam. Not that much over here, but on the other side of this little thing, a lot of sea foam. A lot of algae back here. Whole lot of lily pads over there. So I don't know, I might just end up going back and paddle back across the Harris and then go back to the other one. But I will probably continue onward for at least a little bit further in that direction. There are boats or something down there, so it's at least worth exploring. Found a little cove area on my way back, which is kind of nice to just be floating in. This is definitely the easy part of my trip. It's about 3:30 right now. It's 3:27, something like that. So it's taken me about an hour and a half against the current to get out. I don't know if current's the right word, but the wind is blowing in that direction and the waves are all moving in that direction. Which, by that direction, I mean that way. It's going actually back in this direction. So, which is convenient because it's going exactly where the marina is, which is where I need to go back to. Not looking forward to that because the boat launch was pretty gross, to be honest. It's full of that algae. I have to wash my legs off when I get back. Yeah, so kind of just floating right now. I'm going to go back around. Probably continue all the way around this coast. Sorry, I paused for a second because I was wondering what was in the water, but it's a lily pad. Just kind of flapping. Random that there's one lily pad out here. Gonna continue around the coast since I couldn't find the route around on the other side. It might have been through lily pads, but I need to find out what's on the left side of this. So I'm gonna go around until that happens. Once I'm content, I'm going to go back to Harris Island, go around the west bank of that, and hop on over to the last one. So, continuing on. Two things. One, I've made it back to the other side of the island, and yeah, it does loop right back around. I just didn't go far enough and paddle through enough lily pads. I could tell because there's that red boat. Again, right there. More importantly, there's a bald eagle that flew out earlier, and I'm looking for it. I thought I spotted it a second ago, but I guess not, so I'm gonna keep looking. Well, disappointingly, I've been sitting here for probably another 15 minutes. Most I've seen is a seagull. It's been the same seagull. It's a shame because I saw the eagle fly over there earlier, and I can hear birds making a bunch of noise over there, which generally just means that they're pissed off birds fighting with each other, which had me thinking that maybe that's where the eagle landed. Unfortunately, it hasn't come back, so that's a shame, but I'm done hanging out here. As you can see, really there's the lily pads from earlier. So we've gone full circle, and it's time to turn around and go back. I'm gonna zoom back into where I am. That is Harris Island, and then on the other side of that is whatever the third island is. Campsite's back over in that direction. Oh, and also just to for posterity, it's 4 o'clock exactly. Before I actually get going, figured I'd show you how fast the current is moving. Thankfully in my direction this time. It's trying its best to flip the kayak as well. So floating here through these lily pads, you can see the waves rippling. Moving pretty well. It's kind of nice though, because like Spain, I demoored myself, and this is kind of doing all the work for me. I say that until I float into all of these fucking lily pads. So now I'm gonna get out of here and paddle my ass over there. 4:19, and I'm back at that tree from earlier. Made it back from island number 2. I just gotta say, all those laps around Peace Valley Lake are paying off in dividends right now, so keep it moving to island number 3. Okay, island number 3 has been spotted on the far side of Harris Island. So I'm gonna make my way over there in a second. But first, pretty sure I found another bald eagle out here. I'm really trying not to get knocked over because it's really wavy. Let's see if I can do this and not drop my phone. Fucking. One of the most annoying parts about the waves is it tries to turn you like perpendicular to where the current's going. So you're getting rocked as much as fucking possible. Alright. Where is it? There we go. Is that a bald eagle? I have no idea. Kind of looks like it. I'll lose my fucking kayak paddle when I do this. But hang on, I'm gonna keep this running. We'll see what happens. There's also some egrets out here. I think they're egrets and not herons. They're not white. I don't really know what the difference is between those two animals, apart from herons are normally white. I guess they have blue herons too. I don't know. There's one of them right there. Oh shit, there it goes. I'm just kidding, that was a different one, but something's going. All right, there's actually a bunch of birds out here. If I could find a place to post up and not lose all my shit, that's really annoying me. Right, hang on. You know what, nature? Kind of had it with your bullshit at the moment. Oh good, the fucking eagle's gone. You kidding me? There's something cool up there though. Pretty good with what we got. Look, I can kind of see the eagle through the trees. Come on, oh, there we go. Look at that. I'd zoom in more, except my panel is trying really hard to escape because now I've turned perpendicular in the other direction. Oh man, Jesus. This is real wavy. Seriously, I'm not even that far away from the shore. I mean, I guess that's where waves happen, so what the fuck am I talking about? Alright, well this is the far side of island number 3. I kind of paddled into these lily pads because I figured it would help stop the waves. It has, although you can still see that the waves are coming through here. It's actually a pretty cool effect on the lily pads. Yeah, pretty tired. What time is it? 4:53. It's really beautiful out here. It's also really sunny. Not gonna be upset to be back in the shade. This was also making me think about how I will never go kayaking in like the Everglades or just Florida in general. Because man, the idea that something could actually be in these lily pads, yeah, fuck that. Not about that life. But this isn't too bad. All right, so game plan is, that's the, I guess the south coast, south bank of island number 3. Gonna kayak back around there and probably cross over the coast, like the actual coast, and make my way back north along there. Not trying to fight anymore with the open water. It's a lot nicer to be kayaking around, not too far from any coast, just because it is generally a little bit less wavy. Not necessarily right here, but normally works out that way. So I'm gonna head in that direction, and it should be good. All right, I've come full circle. Back around, right around the corner there is the marina, and then it's going to be my campsite. So just wanted to point out there, it's a beautiful sunset. I hopefully should get a better view of it. I'm back at my campsite as well. Got a little wet coming across from that third island. It was just open water again. It was pretty splashy. So just gonna head back, dry off. I ended up not eating anything just because I didn't feel like stopping. I was making such good progress. I don't know what time it is right now. 5:17. So been out here for a few hours. Hopefully I haven't gotten sunburned. Got my trusty hat, my SPF 70. So yeah, it should be good. Time to round the corner and make moves all the way back. All right, it is 5:40. I've made it back to base. Still have a little bit of sunlight. It's perfect. I have enough time to make some fire, make some food. I'm really hungry because I haven't eaten anything all day. So I'm gonna do that, and seems like it's gonna be a pretty nice night out. So yeah, should be good. Okay, it's nice to finally have a private campsite because there's been a couple things I wanted to show you guys, and kind of feel weird about doing that when you're around a whole bunch of people or like in a field, like the last place I was at. Not great. But this place is great. Let me just say, you ever come out all the way in Western Pennsylvania? Pymatuning, awesome. Okay, but anyway, so things around the campsite and things to bring, things to do, whatever. Basically things that I could think of to talk about. First one, because my hands are kind of grimy, is keeping clean. And it's a good idea to bring stuff to keep yourself clean. The main thing I like to bring, baby wipes. It's awesome. I bring baby wipes. Got 3 packs of these for like $6. Wasn't expensive. Either way, when you're not going to be like showering or anything, these are great. Wash your hands, wash your face, wash whatever. I use a ton of them, especially when I'm trying to cook or clean. I guess cook and stay clean. Fuck, drop something down. It's kind of nice to have this shit. It's kind of nice though because my legs are kind of dirty. I forgot about that. I'm absolutely saturated in bug spray. The last thing I was grabbing were just my fork and my spoon and just cleaning them off a little bit. What I do and what I've already done normally to clean those is boil some water. Sorry, there was someone like walking around here. Not that they shouldn't be walking around here, I'm just cognizant of it. Normally what I do is boil some water and dump that on it, and then I'll wipe it down. I've got some of these Clorox wipes. Let me just say, my whole setup with like, get that out of here. My whole setup works out pretty well because I can keep stuff down there. Plenty of space to sleep, keep stuff up here. That's great. Keep all my food stuff in the back. Cast iron pan. Need that. Good for cooking anything that you need to cook, pretty much. Got bouillon cubes, chicken and beef. Easy if you got hot water and you just need something, well, whatever. I haven't even opened them yet, but I bring them with me. I have hot chocolate mix as well. That's in the front. That gets used. So right now, what I'm looking for, I actually already took it out now that I'm thinking about it, is so everything that I'm making, make our way to the front of the truck. SUV. So much more annoying to say. Alright, map. Alright. So I've got my stuff up here. Put that down there. And I've got my food. This is all my breakfast food. It's Not anything I'm gonna eat right now. Basically oatmeal of varying kinds. Granola, which is basically another variety of oatmeal. Hot chocolate, as previously mentioned. So what I've got down here is what I can have for dinner, or what I want for dinner. And it's either canned stuff or this freeze-dried stuff. So, or I could just eat a bunch of granola bars, but I'm not gonna do that. So in terms of canned stuff, I tend to bring some soup, some, I got some chili. The other stuff is falling into that space as I move it. Baked beans, I got some SpaghettiOs in here somewhere. Yeah. I don't want that right now though. What I want is one of these. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, a great tip is if you got to build a fire, and especially if you're using charcoal, make sure you start that because it takes a while to heat up. So that's going in the back as I do this. Chicken teriyaki. Home-style chicken noodle casserole is not what I want. Rice and chicken. I either want this chicken and mashed potato or chicken teriyaki. I think I want the chicken teriyaki, to be honest. I've had that chicken mashed potato, it's pretty good. Haven't had this before. It's got rice, green peas, carrots, peppers, and onions, freeze-dried. Actually, you know what? Chicken and mashed potatoes it is. Because to be honest, both of those things are easy to freeze-dry. And, I mean, as long as I don't mess it up when I make it, it should be pretty delicious. And the directions are really simple. It's like add water and seal it back up and wait. See the charcoal's gray. Move this away from the fire. Yeah, putting that under with the wood. Chair out just in case. Yeah, it's much nicer. Sometimes the benches are really close. I mean, you can always move them, but easier to set up a seat and put this paddle away. All right, got set up a little bit. Got some water. I'll let that heat up. Oh, kettle. You obviously need a kettle. You're gonna be boiling some water. This one only has been a little bit on fire. I think it gives it character. Also, you don't want to touch the outside because it's really fucking dirty. Character, yeah. So I'm gonna boil some water in there and come back when things are a little bit more ready to be made. Because to be honest, that's another thing. Boiling water on just charcoal, I mean charcoal goes pretty fast. But if you're making it on a fire that's not like a roaring fire, be prepared to wait for a little bit because it takes some time, especially one like this. Don't just fill it up if you don't need to. Don't just fill it all the way to the top and be like, oh, I'm gonna make all this boiling water. I mean, day one, that's normally a good idea, and I store some in that thermos, but I mean, if you don't need it, it takes forever. So, just a good thing to know. So that's going right now. Should be boiling in a little bit. It's nice because this grill comes down and actually, I'm not gonna do it, but it lifts up and rotates over. There's a hinge down here, rotates there. It wasn't nice that it was on the ground when I got here, you could see. But either way, it's not like I'm putting anything right on there, so it doesn't matter. Make sure you're not relying on that, because that would be gross. I also have tin foil. That's a good thing to remember to bring. I've got tin foil in the car. You can use that for so many different things. So right now this is going, and what I was saying was the coal, it comes right up to the bottom of the grill, which is awesome, because sometimes they have a fire ring that, like, I haven't seen one with this hinge sort of thing before. It's normally you move it down a couple rungs, and there's normally like 3 different rungs, but sometimes the grill will stop, I can't really do this well, will stop up here, and you'll have to fill up, like, you'd have to use an entire bag of charcoal, and nobody's trying to do that. So some of those times I just use the charcoal and move the grill all the way to the top, and just put the kettle right on top of the charcoal. Boils a lot faster too, but you just gotta pay attention. It could like shift and fall over. Let's see. Yeah, nothing else for now. There was actually something else for now. The other thing to make sure you have is something to be able to either to like move all the hot stuff with. Obviously you could just grab a stick for the actual fire, but you're gonna have to grab, that thing's hot even when the wood wasn't burned off partially. I mean, it's not that bad. It's just a little singed. It still gets kind of hot. So I got these leather gloves. Gloves, like good protective gloves, are actually not very expensive at all. You just go to Home Depot and they have like 40 different options. Yeah, so something to have, because if you didn't have this, I also have a pot holder, or a pan holder, I guess, for my cast iron pan, a skillet, whatever. You need that, because otherwise you're just gonna, you wouldn't be able to cook with it. So something to remember to bring. This is what it's all about. The squirrel is pissed that I'm cooking dinner down here. Look at a chipmunk. It's a chipmunk. Talking mad shit for someone without thumbs. Can't make friends with all the animals. Okay, the water is boiling, which is great. There's some really pissed off squirrels around here, which you can probably hear. If you can't, well, you're just going to believe me, there's like 3 or 4 of them. So, chicken and mashed potato dinner. I always forget to do the first step, which is remove the oxygen thing, which sucks, because then, I'm talking about this silica packet. Take that out. It's looking tasty. It's not. This stuff does not look tasty. That's like the chicken. Step 2 is remove the potatoes. That's the potatoes. Add 1 3/4 cups of water. It's another thing. Just use your judgment on the water, because I have fucked up some of these meals by just trying to pour in exactly what it called for, and it's been too much. You can always add more water. I am gonna add a little bit more, but then I'm gonna let this sit. So I can add more later if it needs it. And you can't take it back, and it ends up with like roast watery chicken, which, yeah, I'm not trying to eat that. Okay, so you have to seal it, wait 5 minutes, you're gonna do that. After that, it's calling for, you gotta mix in the mashed potatoes, and I'm gonna do that too. So you just mix it directly into the chicken water. As appetizing as that sounds, and I'll show you how it turns out. So, alright, so there you have it. It's mashed potatoes and chicken. It smells pretty good. I'm sure it's gonna taste pretty good. I put a full kettle on right there, just because there's plenty of stuff that I want to use the boiling water for, and I have easy access to more water, so I'm not too concerned about it. And most importantly, I don't need it anytime soon, so it can just kind of go. Later on, I'm just gonna make a fire, and yeah, should be a pretty nice rest of the evening. Assuming, of course, that all of these chipmunks calm down. Because, man, there's a bunch of them. I've never heard this many. You can't see them, but I can see them. On that crazy note,